Hello, myself Sunil Ramakrishna. Here basically we are discussing one of the topic, that is city creation. In this basically we are discussing this topic, that is this basically. One of the person told that basically each and every laptops basically are connected with the Jasusi group basically. Because few Jasus are very dangerous basically. They say that basically we are keep on connecting the laptops, we are keep on connecting the Microsoft, we are keep on connecting to the computers basically. So they say that basically few people basically sits in the computer and basically they basically do lots of things basically, and that is affecting to the lots of things basically. So that basically are like big businessmen. If they sits basically into the computer and basically they basically just do whatever things basically they want to do. So that is basically different thing basically. So one of the person told that basically you are not getting job basically. That also we will find basically why you are not getting the job and which groups are basically involved in this basically. Then basically one of the person told that Italy like city. Italy, in Italy basically there is one city basically. Italy city like is also also required investment. So for that special banks are created, and here God money are used. Otherwise basically if it's in connected with the banks basically, then basically it's going to track basically. So one of the person told that this money basically are not tracked basically. Then he told that basically money basically, then basically where the money are basically kept. One of the person told that basically. So see basically. So this is basically also there basically. So one of the person told that see basically this is the second part. Second part, see. One of the person told that basically, Sunil, if you want to get the job, basically, then basically something should happen basically in this area basically. That is this area. This area and this area. This area basically. Something big should happen. Big should means lots of country should basically get end basically. Then only basically their union basically is going to end basically, because it's created the union basically. Somebody has created the union basically, that this group, if they will give the job basically, then this group basically are going to attack software companies basically. So software companies basically are not giving job to you basically, because these groups are basically directly connected with that group basically. So something basically big should happen basically in this area and in this area. So one of the person told what basically that is big basically. So few people say that basically in this basically peace people are also basically there basically, who always visit the peace area basically. If basically everything basically happens in peacefully basically, then it's okay. Otherwise basically it would be this basically. If it's happened peacefully, then it's okay. Otherwise basically it will be this and it will be this. Few people says that basically these groups are not giving job basically. We are not basically, this group basically say that basically we are not giving you basically, we are basically not stopping you to job. These groups are basically stopping. So that basically you are not supposed to get the job. So you should basically concentrate on this group basically. These groups are basically creating problem to you basically. That is this group basically. These groups are creating problem to you basically. These groups has created problem to you. So one of the person told that basically if army basically does not exist, then basically the world will basically attack you. World will attacks India basically. because lots of Indian basically enemies are basically there in world basically, that is these groups. So one of the person told that that is also basically created by this group and this group, that is this group and this group basically have created that enemy, created the enemies also basically, you can created the basically enemy. So it's a, that's why basically it's a union basically. So you have to break this union, that is this group and this group union basically you have to break. So that basically that is basically not possible. Reason, they basically USA basically keeps on visiting in India basically, and Indian group basically also keeps on visiting in USA basically. So basically how basically, for example, one person told that basically India group told that basically we are not going to give Sunil R. Nair job. So USA basically is there. So they basically visits USA and they will say that basically Sunil R. Nair is not supposed to get the job basically. And in this basically, this group basically, that is this group, that is this sports group basically has created lots of countries also basically, like Australia, New Zealand is there, which basically are not into this picture basically, which are basically not into that picture. So they are using that also, because software company is connected with USA and USA is connected with Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, then Zimbabwe, then Bangladesh, West Indies, then basically the Sri Lankan. These groups are basically connected basically. So this group basically, this group has created this group and this group basically are handled by this group basically, that is army group basically. So one of the person told that basically army group basically are directly connected with this group basically, and these groups are connected with these entire countries basically. They keeps on visiting and they basically creating the union basically. So this was the reason basically, and this basically connects to one more part basically, that is Indian, the kings of the United Kingdom, king of the Russia, king of the China, king of the India, king of the kings basically, we can add kings also basically, then king of the South Korea, king of the Pakistan's, king of the Japan's, king of the France and king of the Italy's basically. So that is also basically one of the things basically. Few people says that basically they basically died and their human clones are basically created and they are basically controlling this everything basically. So one of the person told that if you want to track basically who is the Infosys owner basically, then you can track basically his history basically and his family's history basically. HCL owner, Capgemini owner, Accenture owner, Mindtree's owner, Oracle Finance owner, then Sonatas or Cognizant basically owners. They are basically connected with that only basically. That only. So the reason, this is also basically comes in the second part basically, that is software companies basically. So first part, second part basically. So that is first part and second part basically. So one of the person told that second part is also basically there and first part is also there basically. So one of the person told that yes basically, first part and second part. See the first part and second part, both are basically connected with each other. Both are basically connected with each other basically. Both are connected with each other basically. So one of the person told that each and everything basically has converted into business basically. For example, if you want to jump into the management basically, then basically experience, you, one of the person told that Sunil, you have a good experience in management also basically I have saw your videos also basically of the management side. You basically have knowledge than directors basically, you have a knowledge than the software company owner basically. But few people basically that are this group basically, that is this group, army group basically, that is the world army, that is basically we have already discussed basically United States of America's army, Chinese army basically, this army, that army basically. Next video basically we are going to discuss about the army groups.